Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. So once a month I do some sort of contest for my tier 3 patrons where I give away a box of detailing goodies. Last month I did a caption contest. This month I did a quiz with 10 hard-ish detailing questions. And what I want you to do is go to the description of this video. This is just for fun, guys. Read the 10 questions, pause the video, and then reply with your answers to those 10 questions in the comments. Don't read anybody else's. This is just for fun. There's nothing for you to gain, and don't Google the answers. Just see if you can get the answers from what's in your head, and be aware that some of the questions are there to catch you out. So right now I'm going to go through all of the questions and give you the answers, and at the end announce the winner. Question 1. What are buffer trowels and what causes them? So buffer trowels are a surface defect in automotive paintwork, typically clear coat now, almost exclusively clear coat, where you overheat the paintwork with excess friction, typically from a rotary polisher. You are going to struggle to put buffer trowels. Some people dispute this, but I don't think you can put buffer trowels in with force rotational dual action polishers. I've just never seen it. Now we did a video on this called the boat office effect, where we used all of the information from Ivan LaCroix about what causes buffer trowels, and the key point was if you rapidly raise the temperature of a small area of clear coat by 80 degrees Fahrenheit or over a total of 140 degrees Fahrenheit, that is enough to cause this surface marring known as buffer trowels. So something along those lines. Be interested if anyone's got any more information on specifically why it looks like kind of holograms, and you see some of the colours in there as well. I'm thinking that when you heat it up, you soften it, and then you're putting some sort of fine print of the material you're removing and the abrasives into the surface. I don't know, and I'm imagining that's why you're seeing the hologram effect. But anything close to what we've talked about would be correct for me, and most people got this right. I'm going to be really interested to read some of your answers on this one as well. Next one is question 2. What material does a fallout remover dissolve? If you've been following the channel, you probably know this is a trick question. So I was trying to get people to put the answer iron, and that would have been the wrong answer. Fallout removers do not dissolve iron. Imagine if they did. You sprayed them on steel brakes, you know, what would happen to those brakes? Or just, you know, body panels. If there was any exposed ferrous components or steel in there, it would literally melt them, wouldn't it? Fallout removers dissolve iron oxide, Fe2O3. So if any embedded iron gets stuck in the paintwork, it oxidizes and rusts and expands and anchors in. So the fallout remover dissolves the oxide layer, shrinks it, makes it easier to remove. That's the answer I was looking for. Question number 3. Name a caustic cleaning chemical. The chemical, not the product name. And virtually everyone got this right. Sodium hydroxide was the answer most people seem to give, but you know, you could come up with all of them. Potassium hydroxide, other hydroxides, sodium silicates, what else, you know, phosphoric acid, anything that's corrosive or caustic, doesn't matter if it's alkaline or acid. You know, there's some examples there, so again, be interesting to see what you guys put for your answers. Question 4. If you had a 500 GSM microfiber cloth that measured 100 centimetres by 100 centimetres, and you cut the cloth in half, what would the GSM be of 1/2 of the cloth? So the answer is 500 GSM, and most of you got that. It's another trick question, isn't it? I was trying to get a few people got caught out by it and put 250 GSM or 250 grams some people put. The GSM doesn't change depending on the size because it's grams per square metre, so you're putting, it's a measurement per X amount of real estate, if you like. So the real estate size doesn't change, and that means it allows you to compare density of products that are all different sizes. That's the whole point of the GSM thing. So trick question, most of you got that. Question 5, what does a PDG measure? You could go on a really complicated answer here, couldn't you? And some people did, and it's great to read. But quite simply, if you'd have put PDG stands for paint depth gauge, and it measures the depth of a painted system, that would have probably done. And then you could go into talking about some of them are ferrous, some of them, you know, plastic, can measure on plastic, some of them are multi-layer and all the complex stuff. But essentially, it's a gauge for measuring paint depth. Question 6. Which of the two products will increase physical gloss, wax or polish? This isn't a trick question. The answer is polish. You only had to put wax or polish, but a lot of people went into Y, which is good. So the polish will actually, you know, refine the clear coat or the paint. You know, it will make it smoother, flatter, and it'll increase the gloss in the actual clear coat. And then when you remove all the polish, that gloss is still there because you've created the gloss by making that surface more like burnished, if you like, more reflective. So that's physical gloss. A wax, on the other hand, you put that on top of paintwork, and you're not doing that to burnish and refine the paintwork. You're doing it to create like a temporary layer of gloss by kind of sitting on top of the paint system, filling imperfections and creating a wax layer which is going to increase gloss on less glossy painted finishes. Okay, so yeah, you know, I'm going to be, the more I say, the more things I can get wrong myself here, but that's all part of the fun. Next up, question 7, what's the main difference between the Flex 3401 and the DAS 6 Pro? The answer I'm looking for here is the 3401 is a forced rotation dual action polisher. The DAS 6 Pro is a free spinning dual action polisher. Some people put the price is different. Some people put that the 3401 spins the other way. So there were some other differences that aren't wrong, but the essential answer between the main differences between the machines is free spinning, forced rotation. That's what I was looking for. That's the perfect answer. Question 8, roughly how much of your average paste wax is solvent? I was really looking for a ballpark figure of around about 50%, anywhere between 40% and 60% would have been accurate. All sorts of complexity, arguments you could make. It depends on how you're dissolving the wax, and there's some clever waxes out there now that don't use mineral spirit solvents and things like that. So there's all sorts of ambiguity, but the rough answer would have been somewhere around 50%. And I talked about that a lot in kind of the wax making videos that we did on the channels a few years back. Question 9, what's the difference between the terms active ingredient and carrier? Virtually everyone got this right. People said the active ingredient is the component which is doing the work. So in a protective product, it's the component that's left behind on the panel that's providing the protection, maybe a polymer, or maybe an organic wax, or maybe a ceramic resin. It's the material that's left, or in a cleaning type product, it's the actual surfactant would be the active ingredient, for example, in like an APC. You get the idea. And as well, most of you got what a carrier is, a good description that the carrier is used to transport the active ingredient over the surface you're wishing to either clean or protect. And the common carrier would be water, or it could be a solvent carrier, or mineral oil or something like that. Or even like in the paste wax, lots of you gave examples of an oil, you know, an organic oil being a carrier, because it makes the wax more spreadable over the surface. So everyone got this, so I'm interested to read all your answers on this one, but everyone seems to understand that one. Finally, question 10, which trio of protection products did I put on my Laguna Seca Blue M3? So it's a trio of products. The answer I was looking for was the Boss of Gloss from Auto Perfect It. Some people put some of the other things like the tyre dressings and trim sealants and stuff, but it was Boss of Gloss. If you watch the third video right at the end, we put that on, the N1 finisher, the Longman wax, and then the base coat sealant, which I can't even remember what it's called. Is it N1 Seal or something like that? Don't know, but great little system that was. So that's what I was looking for, guys. Finally, guys, I want to announce the winner. Lots of people that got like great answers, but just slipped on one of the red herring questions, so I only got 9 right. There's only 2 people that got them all right, and out of those 2 people, I looked at the answers and picked the one that gave the best answers. And the winner of this competition is a gentleman called David McCready. Dave, I'll message you and I'll grab your address and I'll send a box of detailing products your way shortly, as soon as I've recovered. You can see I'm on the brink of coughing. I'm starting to feel good now, but I've been struggling with this virus for the last few days. And I know I'm going to get the coronavirus stick. But it's not coronavirus, unfortunately. I wish it was, because I'm going to be stuck with this for a couple of weeks. And the gentleman I mentioned that come in second place, where they got all of them right, I'm not always going to be able to do this, but in this instance I felt you also deserve to win as well. So I'm going to send you something through the post as well. And this gentleman is known as Chris Leslie. Chris, you've been with me virtually since the beginning of Patreon, so thank you very much, mate. I'm going to get this over to you as soon as I can. To everyone else watching this video, if you want to sign up to the Patreon, you can see the link for it in the description. There's loads of different tiering, as well as this monthly competition prize giveaway thing that I do. There's basic access where you can just message me if you've got questions about detailing, through to all these different tierings that give you other things. So that's that. Otherwise, just make sure you subscribe to the channel. The backup channel's doing great, as I've been speaking to my patrons, my plans for 2020 to try and do more content on this backup channel. So make sure you're subscribed and all that sort of stuff, as you often hear people asking you to do. But it's worth it if you're interested in the content. Other than that, guys, I should be back in action within the next few days. Like I say, starting to feel better, semi-human. Apologies for how croaky my chest feels. Wash your hands, guys. All that sort of stuff, because all you hear on the news at the moment is all about these viruses. They're no fun, are they? But thanks for watching this video anyway, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.